there, and welcome back to some more WRC, aka World Rally Championship. Today we'll continue on Let's Play, and this is episode 29. In today's episode, we are delving into the unknown a little bit, as we take a look at the PAL-exclusive WRC Challenge, which is a bit weird, bit mysterious, and I can't really dig much up on it, but I can give you a basic outline of what I think it was, and hopefully we can get a little bit of a discussion going on to figure out what this thing actually was. So as I mentioned, it is exclusive to the PAL version of this game. This game of course came out in 2001, and what this is essentially a internet-based challenge where, well, you can see it here. To gain access to the WRC Challenge mode, you must obtain a WRC license or register at www.wrc.com. To gain a license, you must race 3 stages consecutively and achieve a time better than 6 of 52 dead. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be achieving our rally license test while I'd sort of discuss how I think this works or something of that sort. So obviously, there's a few major issues that cloud our ability to really find out what this was. This game was released in 2001, late 2001. From the one forum post that I can find talking about this, and they don't actually mention what it's all about, they more mention, you know, oh, I can't beat the license rally test time, which I don't get considering it's hilariously easy, as you'll see in a minute. And stuff like that. That actually forum post was between, I believe it was January 2002, and it may have slipped into March 2002. So what we do know is this took place some point between when the game launched and most likely sort of culminated around mid 2002 before the release of WRC 2 Extreme, which also had a WRC challenge mode, but that one I'm probably not going to show off. I'm only going to be showing off this one because this one's actually fun, and as you'll see in a minute, there's a bit of an issue with this. So I'm only going to be showing off the rally test, and then I'll show off a few little additional bits, but I'm not going to show off this entire full mode, because to be honest with you, there isn't really a whole lot to show off here. So what you do is you achieve your Super Rally test here. I believe completing this gives you a code. I could be wrong, it has been a couple of weeks since I last played through this, but I'm fairly certain you get a code at the end of this. You'd enter that onto the WRC website, and then that would register you into the WRC challenge mode. From there, you would get codes to enter into the game, which is what you could see, enter challenge code, I believe it says on the screen. You enter codes, which you get, and then when you beat a stage, I assume you'd either get the next code, or the codes would be released monthly. And my pure assumption is that what would happen is when you beat the coded times, the code that you get afterwards either has an exact reference to the time you get, or you would have to somehow prove on the form that you got the quickest time, and whoever got the quickest time at the end, or group of people that got the quickest time at the end, would win the WRC challenge. Now, what exactly was associated with the WRC challenge, I have no idea. I have no idea why you would do this. I don't know what the prize was at the end of it. As far as I can work out from digging around the internet a little bit, because again, most of this is based off of Stage 2s in Portugal. Hold on. So what I can dig up is there is a very, very old news article that mentions WRC 3, which I don't remember if that has a sort of separate WRC challenge mode attached to it. However, it mentions that the Skoda Rally team won in the game. Now, I don't know if that's a separate challenge, or I don't know if it was people who won the WRC 3 challenge got invited down to try and, you know, see what rally team they could beat, and in the end the Skoda team won, you know, between the gamers, or again, it could have literally just been a thing between the teams that just used WRC 3 and Skoda somehow won it. I mean, Skoda had to be good at something at least, as we drive the amazing Octavia, which, as I found out in the playthroughs channel, which I've done, both playthroughs are fully completed now. I did one with Tommy Mackinnon's Evo, which is gonna come in handy in a minute, and also one in this Skoda Octavia, and I'm sort of convinced the Octavia might be one of the best cars in the game because I like the way this thing drives a lot, and I'm happy because the Octavia is probably one of my favourite rally cars from this era. But anyways, we're getting sidetracked here. So, my best guess is it isn't that. It isn't an esports tournament. My guess is this is sort of a very early 2000s internet thing where the prize would be some form of care package with WRC goodies. Maybe it was tickets to a rallying final and a bunch of merch and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I do have to admit, I didn't dig that far into it, and I'm not a very good researcher in terms of going into like deep information. But I did do a couple of Google searches. There's no video of this whatsoever on YouTube. If you type in WRC Challenge, you'll just get video results for random World Rally Championship this game gameplay. You'll get a few results from some of the challenge modes in Rally Evolved, but beyond that you don't get anything. So yeah, a little bit of a weird one. Again, if you have any theories on this whatsoever, if you know somehow what this was, then feel free to tell me in the comment section. I'd love to get a discussion going, and I'd love to figure out what this is. But as far as I can work out, yeah, it's just a early internet-based competition where you'd have to get the best time on stages and eventually full-on rallies, as you'll see in a second. And you win a prize if you manage to beat people. Again, it's all on the official WRC website. In fairness, I didn't go on the Wayback Machine to see if the WRC website was taken as far back as that. But even still, I don't think that would really clear anything up. I don't even know if the Wayback Machine can go quite that way back. We're 20 seconds up on the base time, by the way. As you can see, actually getting your super license test isn't too difficult. Whether the actual rallies themselves are difficult, I don't know. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't play through them, and I will explain very quickly why I didn't play through them once we've got our license test. So, I mean, in perfect honesty, the one thing this does exist to is showcase a couple of cars in this game. Although, in fairness, the only car I haven't showcased that is in the challenge mode is the Citroen Zara, which, of course, we have here. The one car I didn't use, but to be fair, the one reason I didn't use this car is because every other person uses this car when they play this game. So, yeah, the Zara, it's got a red tack, of course, digital tachometer, so on. The Skoda had a analog. It's actually the first analog car you've seen, so again, kind of cool that each car has its own individual tack. But yeah, I've ranted enough about WRC Challenge. In short, it's some form of internet-based thing where I believe you get a prize at the end of it. I would imagine it to be some sort of care package. Maybe an invite to play WRC too early, I'm not too sure. But I don't think it's related to the other WRC challenge that is on the internet. So, I mean, I could be wrong on that, but I don't think it was a thing where you got to play with teams and stuff. There may have been a team experience where you get to meet a real-world rally team, and by the sounds of it, it probably would have been the Skoda team. So, I mean, I would have loved to get some time behind the scenes with the Octavia WRC and discuss with, I don't know, any Skoda drivers. Bruno Ferri, I guess. I mean, in 2002 they had more interesting drivers. They had 4 different drivers actually. A bunch of sort of drivers who came in and randomly did things, including a man called Stig, who was incredibly old. I think his first rally came in 1971, so yeah, he was certainly getting on a bit, but he was driving the Octavia around, and he actually, I believe he got it some decent finish. Also, that's another quick thing I will mention briefly, although I'll probably mention in the next episode as well. I've figured out the reason Citroen was not scoring manufacturer points. I'm sure I'll get a comment about that 3 years in the future, about why I'm stupid for not realising the reason, but essentially, in the WRC, a car, each manufacturer could only assign 2-point scorers for the year. So drivers could have more than 2 drivers, but only 2 of those drivers could actually score manufacturer points, I believe it was. And then in the end, I think it was around 2003, 2004, they ended up closing that off, I think. Hence why they had to let go Colin McRae from Citroen, so, or something of that sort. But either way, I almost fairly certain most rally teams, actually no, most rally teams these days usually run about 3 cars, so the rule could have changed, but yeah, in short, that's the reason Citroen hasn't scored points. It's nothing to do with the fact Citroen was just a weird manufacturer in general in 2001, it's more akin to the fact that, yeah, you could only choose 2 drivers to score you manufacturer points. So anyways, with that all being said and done, as we load into the menu here, we are 29 seconds above on that time, and as you can see, to receive a code that allows you to enter a WRC challenge, import the following code unlocking on the official WRC website, and then it kicks you back to the main menu. So then I believe you would enter unlocking on the website, and then that would give you one of the following challenge codes, because we do actually have all 4 of them. There could have been more than 4, but there's only 4 that seem to be around on the internet. And the rallies would be for Great Britain, Monte Carlo, Portugal and Sweden. So what we will do is we'll enter a random code, we'll enter the Swedish code. So that is 745MJJ. If you want to get these off the internet, they're around, just type in WRC cheats and they're there. So as you can see, the WRC challenge summary, you would have to race 3 stages, it would tell you what car you get, what driver you get, and then of course as you click through, then you run 3 stages like we did. And see what the best time you could get. Actually, I'm not going to show you the entirety of going through Sweden, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll play through this and we'll see what happens at the end of this. Alright? But either way, I will say the one thing that should be made clear of this before I do this, because again I'm not going to show you because there's no real point, you get the message here. Every single one of these codes links to it being a WRC, a Mitsubishi Lancer. I don't know if that's the code specifically ordered it to be a Lancer, or if they only ran the Lancer for this for whatever reason, but that's just the way it is. Anyways, because it's only 3 stages and it's Sweden and I like Sweden, I will play through this quickly and I'll meet you back here in about 20 minutes. Okay, so there we are. We've done our time in Sweden. Again, it was 3 stages, nothing particularly much to write home about, although there was actually stage and sector times, which was pretty interesting. So, let's figure out what happens when we click continue then. There we go, there's our results times. Congratulations, you set the following time. Enter the code, yeah. So, if you are a true champion. Okay, so what I am gonna guess here is because we set a time on this stage, of course there was 4 different challenge stages, that code, while it means nothing to us, would be akin to essentially what the time is. So N.1RB93 means 10:15:38. Although I guess you could probably find out from someone what the actual other codes were, so I guess you could still cheat the system somehow. But anyways, that's in there. So as you can see, I still don't know what this is. I believe it's some form of competition where you got a prize at the end of it, but of course if you've got another theory, if you do think it's related to like a one-on-one with the Skoda rally team or something like that, then do let us know. But either way, that is it for its section of this Let's Play. I do hope you've enjoyed. Next time I'm going to be taking a look at the bonus stages, so join us for that. Until then, farewell.